Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Can you imagine how Francis Ngannou went from sleeping in the streets to having a net worth of over $3 million? In an interview, he even confessed to being so lonely and broke, he ended up arguing with a rat in the trash. Yes, an actual rat. Continue watching to learn how the homeless life taught Francis Ngannou how to spend his money wisely. But before we continue, we want to thank all of you that have supported us. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we post interesting videos like this one on a daily basis. Francis Ngannou came from one of the poorest villages. Recently, the Cameroonian heavyweight revealed what life was like for him. Now that he finally has the chance to avenge his loss to Stipe Miocic and become a UFC heavyweight champion, Francis took us back to what made him who he is now and what built his strong, groundbreaking character. Even though it sounds too shocking to believe, Francis was born in a poor and forgotten village in Cameroon. As he grew up, he had a sudden urge to travel and find out what the world had in store for him. However, when he finally decided to travel across Africa, he almost lost his life. This is when he decided that Europe would be a better destination for him to build up and hopefully find who he would become. But to be anything, he first had to be homeless and even beg for money. In an interview, Francis started his life story from the very beginning. He started by saying that he wholeheartedly hated the place he came from. And now that he is finally speaking up, he says that going back to his past hurts him. Francis hated the way he lived, his village, and even his life. He spent most of his childhood being upset as he always felt like he was being raised in the wrong place. Francis calls his village a hopeless and forgotten place. There, people lose everything, slowly and painfully. And the worst part about it is that no one cared about his village or the people living there. No one had TVs, proper electricity, not even a comfortable bed to have a good night's rest. Francis revealed that he barely had a dim lamp in his house to read a book. Due to poverty, Francis had to start working at the age of 10 years old. He expressed that he was not ready to work yet as he was still a child. Sadly, he had no choice and had to do so to feed himself. The most heartbreaking part of this is because he sees the day he started working as the day he grew up and became a human with responsibilities. The only option he had to make money was to work in a sand mine that was located near his village. For this, Francis had to leave his auntie's house and settle in with his grandmother. The only problem was that he needed to work extra hard here to buy food, oil, books, and his education. From that point on, life for Francis got harder. He started missing his childhood, and besides going to work, he needed to attend school with a torn school uniform. Sometimes he didn't even have the money to buy a pen or a notebook to write in. Francis Ngannou's dream. The heavyweight fighter believes that the problem with children in his village is that they think that everything is lost about them and the place they are living at the moment they are born. They are programmed in such a way where they do not often dream about their future. What is more shocking is that their families do not even allow them to be ambitious. These children eventually accept being the victim of their own life. Because of this, Francis was rarely understood for expressing that he wanted to be something more than just another victim. He always believed that he could make his fate and succeed no matter how hard it was. No one in his family or out of his friends used to support him. They would always tell him to surrender to life as it was brought to him. But even though people told him his dreams were not possible, he still had the ambition to go and catch them. However, this is where Francis's insecurities came from. He started thinking he was wrong and was more comfortable doing what he was doing. But his intuition told him otherwise. When Francis first told his family about his dream to become a boxer, they were shocked. They could not believe that Francis was serious and thought that he was mentally ill for thinking differently. His mother was the most fearful of all, as she did want the best for her son, but was afraid of the unknown that his dreams would bring. His decision to leave home. Francis started his journey traveling from his village to Morocco. This journey lasted about 1 year and led Francis to some illegal situations, such as crossing borders, sleeping in the bushes of other people's homes, and overall living a horrible life. After a year, he decided that it was time to take the next step and cross the border to go to Spain. This led Francis to hide in the forest with no food or water. When he was asked how he managed to survive, he revealed that he collected rainwater and hunted small animals. If he was lucky, a trash truck would cross his path and he would find something to consume. Francis explained that one day he was so hungry he had to sneak to the nearest market at nighttime to find food in the trash. As he was searching for food, he found a half-rotten tomato. As soon as he got ready to reach out for it, a rat snatched for it also. This made Francis furious, and he even recalled that he was so desperate he even argued with the rat, explaining to it why it was more important for him to eat the tomato. Francis later explained that the whole situation was more stressful than it was scary. After he crossed the border to Spain, he had to spend 2 months in prison until authorities let him free and allowed him to stay in Europe. Paris and homelessness. Francis had finally made it to Paris. He had accomplished a lot, but his life hadn't changed much. He still had to sleep in the streets and eat food from the trash. However, Francis was happy. He knew that he had progressed and proved to himself that he could decide his fate. Even though he was homeless, things were much easier for him. Francis explains that even though he still had nothing, he was the happiest he had ever been at that time because he knew he had overcome the worst part of his life. All this time, Francis had just reached the age of 27. How he started boxing. It took Francis almost a decade after he decided he was going to start boxing to finally start. This was all because he never actually knew the requirements needed to be a boxer until he went to Paris. Even though his dream was to become a boxer, he never had seen or heard about MMA until 2013. His determination got him recognition from a couple of coaches who finally recommended him to start MMA. The moment Francis discovered MMA was mixed martial arts. He refused the offer and told his coach he only wanted to be a boxer. However, after being told how to make his way into becoming a famous boxer, Francis decided to enter MMA. One of his first fights paid him 2,000 euros. Francis immediately called his mother to tell her that he finally made it, building the next generation. After his success in MMA and UFC, Francis finally thought of building a foundation in his homeland to help children see the potential they have and to make them have a dream and purpose in life. With a very successful UFC record, Francis Ngannou is looking to share his life story and inspire people at home and even internationally. He is also going deeper with children in his homeland who have a passion for mixed martial arts and boxing. Francis is aiming to make other children's journeys less complicated, so they do not struggle as he did for many years. Francis recently opened his first gym in Cameroon, which he completed with a lot of materials for MMA and boxing. Opening a gym in Cameroon was another big dream Francis had. He never understood why someone couldn't make a boxing gym near his area. But today, it is normal for the people there to start training and even dream of becoming a professional boxer. He revealed that now children in his village can dream of becoming who they want because now their parents tell them that anything is possible because Francis did it also. In Cameroon, boxing and MMA have become a trend, and many children are now training to become successful at it and turn it into a full-time career. Despite everything that Francis has been through, he is proud of what he has achieved, not only for himself, but also for the change he brought to his own country. Francis also talked about how he spends his money, and besides investing it in making Cameroon a better place, he is careful with how he spends the rest. He said that the purpose is not to collect things with that money, but to finish the dream that he started. Did you enjoy this video? If so, make sure to give us a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button to be a part of our amazing community. And remember, keep on being awesome. Until next time.